So, we are on layers 5 and 6 of the total drama iceberg now, which would technically make it a little longer than the Left 4 Dead iceberg and Scott Pilgrim iceberg. Stoked. Stoked is another Canadian show made by Teletoon and Fresh TV. Also, fun fact, so me and my brother watched 16, well, and total drama technically, but my brother doesn't remember 16, but then I don't remember Stoked. It's kind of weird. Alejandro's voice actor changed. So basically, for World Tour at All-Stars, Alejandro's voice actor changed, and some people didn't like it because it didn't sound the same. Zoe was originally Molly and told Joey Revenge of the Island. So this entry is kind of a little confusing to explain, but basically Zoe originally looked like, well, that, but then her design was changed and like, I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but her design was basically changed to what Dakota's design was in the video. So then when Dakota's design was changed, her colors were also changed, so you know, we have the Dakota we have now. And then Molly kind of disappeared, and Zoe we see right here, that's not really the correct body type, well, I guess not. It was basically changed a little to what we have now. Also, if you're questioning why you don't see B or Dawn here, well, it's because they're way later, so like kind of the last thing. And what's funny is that they're actually two most popular contestants in Revenge of the Island, well, according to the fan base. The goths without their wigs or makeup. So basically, in total dramas, the redonkulous race, the goth makeup starts to melt after a rocker see it, and then it gets all washed off after, you know, the water splash. So then you get to see goths without their makeup or wigs, but then they get it all back the next time. Next episode. So basically, Rick, along with Anne-Maria, Noah, Harold, Lashana, Owen, and Justin, were going to be in Total Drama All-Stars, also Anne-Maria, but they're cut out for some reason. It doesn't really show why. Ezekiel is racist. Basically, in Total Drama World Tour, Ezekiel caused his team to win, so up for elimination. Everybody votes for him, but then Ezekiel doesn't vote for himself. He votes for DJ for no reason, and it became a meme. Via message from Home Shorts. So basically, in Total Drama Island and Total Drama Action, they had these videos called Via Message from Home. There's only about 4 or 5 of these. There's not really many. The message revolved around the people that are in the Final 5 or Final 4 of Total Drama Island or Action. Total Drama Reloaded. But essentially self-explanatory, kinda. It was basically original name for Total Drama Revenge of the Island, but then it was, you know, changed. Mal was the original personality of Mike. This is basically a theory that Mal is the original personality, which wouldn't really make any sense to me. So if we're being technically all of Mike's personalities has a distinct personality. So if we take Chester for example, he's old and he gets triggered when Mike gets hurt. And then you got Manitoba, which he gets triggered when Mike just puts a hat on, preferably the Australian sand looking hat. And then there's Vito, which he gets triggered when Mike's shirt comes off, and then he acts all, you know, kinda coolish. I should explain how they act. Basically, Chester act grumpy, like old man, or at least a generic cartoon old man, and then Manitoba just act like Indiana Jones if it wasn't obvious. And then Vito would just act, well, like a cool Italian dude, I guess. I don't know how you explain him. And then there's Svetlana, which is a Sweden or Russian gymnast, and her personality is just that each time Mike's in danger, she gets triggered, and well, yeah. And then Mal's just evil. That's it. Evil for being evil. And then you got Mike, who is, well, kind of just Mike, bland and shy. And then if you really think about it, Mike kind of just acts like a normal person. Everybody else has their weirdly distinct personalities and their weird facial expressions. So like Chester, he has one eye closed, and Svetlana just randomly gets lipstick and those weirdly sparkle in her eyes that other cartoon characters get. Manitoba, well, he looks just like Mike, except he has a smirk on his face. Same as Vito, he has a smirk, but at the same time, his hair gets slicked back. So Mal being the original personality, it doesn't really make any sense. Plus, it would probably make more sense to show Mal first, then Mike, and then all the other personalities, instead of showing Mike first, then all the other personalities, then Mal for like a split second, and, Revenge of the Island. So that was the community toilet, aka Layer 5. Now I move underwater to Layer 6. Heather and Duncan were going to be a couple. Basically, Duncan flirts with Heather a lot in Total Drama Island and Action, but he dates Courtney, so he stops running for her. But then flirts with her again in Action, but then stops again because he starts dating Gwen. The art style of Total Drama is inspired by Clone High. Basically, Total Drama's art style is inspired by Clone High, which is another animation show which isn't based on, an island. It's just based on random people, doing school stuff. The original Total Drama All-Stars lineup. I said this a few entries ago, but the original Total Drama All-Stars lineup, besides from the main characters we have, there's going to be Anne-Maria, Noah, Lashana, Owen, Harold, Justin, and that's really it. They weren't added in for some reason. They never really explained why they weren't. Chris is a pedophile. I better explain this a few entries ago too, that Chris basically makes some comments towards Lindsay, and only Lindsay, not really anybody else. Why Duncan went to juvie. Basically in Total Drama, it's told that Duncan went to juvie, but it's not really explained why he went to juvie. Since he is only 16, the only reason I could really think of is that he did theft. That's really the only thing I can think about. Oh yeah, and also you can technically add this. He exploded that random cabin at Chris and then Total Drama All-Stars. I guess that's another crime he did. But if you're talking about him before Island, then I guess only theft, since it's not really explained. And it was almost explained in one of the Total Drama Island episodes, episode 23. But then the cameras didn't catch it, even though they somehow catch everything else, which is weird. Courtney's voice actress changed. Basically, 2 episodes after a world tour premiered, Courtney's voice actor, Emily Caraballo, changed to someone else who's just unknown. Dead interns. There's a lot of dead interns in Total Drama, and I'll tell you the examples. So, in Total Drama World Tour, in Greece, or when they're flying to Greece, when they fly a plane, they have to turn over, and the intern drops to his death without a parachute. In Revenge of the Island, at least in the first episode at the start, there's an intern that dies from a squid, and he also, a few episodes later, or actually a lot of episodes later, he falls into a pit, and then gets mutated, but you can just assume he died. So yeah, there's just a lot of dead interns in Total Drama. Total Drama figurines. I explained this a little bit earlier in the Iceberg, how there's 3 figurines, or just figures, of the Total Drama characters, but there is some fan-made figurines. So like these ones showing on screen right now, or at least for the image for this underwater layer. Fan seasons of Total Drama. There's basically a couple fan-made seasons which I'll show right now, or at least the animated ones. The first one is this adventure camp, which is still going on. And then there's Total Drama Gone Wild, which hasn't really been going on for like a few years now. And then there's Total Drama Odyssey, which actually has 3 seasons, which is Total Drama Island, Total Drama Hawaii, and Total Drama Egypt. Lord of the Rings reference in Total Drama World Tour finale.
Oh yeah, they really ruined the shot, so we put the human wall there.
Don't you know what happens when pineapples meet lava?
I think you can see a reference, but there's CN, Rune, Gwent, and Dunkany. Basically, this is self-explanatory. CN ruined the relationship between Courtney and Duncan. So then, Duncan went with Gwen for some reason, but then they broke up in All-Stars, so then, oh yeah. They could have just stayed, Duncan and Courtney, but CN ruined it for some reason. I still don't understand why. So that's the communal toilet and underwater / layers 5 and 6. Now we move on to layers 7 and 8, which is the final iceberg entries / layers.